Hi guys, this is Baruch of Met Permaculture. I want to show you how I've been building an extension of my house using wattle and daub techniques. Basically, wattle and daub involves setting up vertical lathes and then weaving some sort of material between them, and then covering that with a plaster made out of mud and lime and straw and so on and so forth. I'm at the first stage, and I'll show you guys what I've been doing here. So this is the front of my house, where used to be the porch. It's being closed now. And here I used a material, I experimented here. You can see I have a bunch of reeds. Reeds I would not recommend using. They're very fragile. They break easily. Just because I put them all up here, I'm going to keep them and plaster them. But because of how fragile they are, I switched to palm fronds, which you can see some on the right, and I'll show you from the inside of my house more of them. So here inside the house, inside the porch, you can see work I've done with palm fronds. They're more solid, they're thicker, and more flexible. They're less fragile than the canes. I still need to do some work here. This whole front part I'm going to close in with a big sliding glass door hopefully next week, and then put wattle everywhere around it. But you can see most of it's done also up there. I'm hoping to finish up today this gap. You can see I have no shortage after Pesach. Everybody's getting rid of the palm fronds from the roof of their sukkah, and so I've been hauling them in, and so I'm getting free construction material, which is nice. Also down there you can see I've got a bunch of dirt that I had hauled in here for the nursery. Behind there all the seedlings I grew this year from seed, and that's dirt that's left over, and so that's going to be mixed in with these leaves here. I'm going to be chopping up a bunch of these leaves and basically mixing in water, that dirt, which is quite clayey, and these leaves and a little bit of lime to provide a kind of a binder, and that's what's going to be used to cover up these walls. You can see these guys, I've been cutting them with just a pair of garden shears and weaving them between these lathes. You can see the lathes up there. In the process I've learned quite a bit about how to properly set up the lathes. Basically you want 3 lathes per panel. You want one in the middle, and you want 2 as close to the sides as possible, because that reduces the angle that the wattle has to bend at, which reduces the odds of breaking it. So what else did I want to show you guys? These are window frames that I got for free. You can generally get free window frames if you know where to look. People are constantly breaking down little houses, and here in Israel especially, you have these aluminum window frames that are pretty easy to pull out in one piece, and the windows are obviously not here right now. They're going in last after all this is done. Let me see, what else can I show y'all? Yeah, oh, this is kind of cool. So with palm fronds, what you can do is in places where you cannot weave them, just because the space isn't there or whatever, and so they start breaking on you. You can do this sort of thing. You can just screw them to the lathe, right, like this. And then also places that like I screwed up here, I didn't use the curvature, or I couldn't get it because I didn't leave myself enough room. You see these lathes here on the edge, the side ones are not close enough. I should have pushed them way further over here. So because of that, it creates a greater angle, and because of that, they started snapping. Down here, I had enough room to get them in at an angle and then slide them over, but up here already they started snapping, so I had to start screwing them in instead of interweaving them properly. But that's okay, because these guys will hold the screw quite well. And other places where there's no room, I'm just going to screw them over the top, and that should hold the daub in place quite well. Up top here, I'm going to have a roof made out of structural panel, basically made it to this guy, and I'll probably do a video showing you guys how to do that. When I do, you can get these structural panels pretty cheaply, especially if you're building for yourself and you don't care. There's always some that are like dinged up a little bit, but they're functional, they're fine, and if you don't care, you can get them for half price here. So they're not really expensive to begin with. They run like 55 shekel a square meter, which for a roof of this size is about 1,000 shekel. But if you can get them half price, it's even better. Okay, so that's about it for the tour. Why did I go with this construction method? Obviously, I had a bunch of free materials lying around, the dirt that I'd already paid for and had really nothing to do with, and these palm fronds. And here, all the wooden material here, like these beams, are from the porch that I built already. So that's already there. You know, the foundation here that I poured. You guys can't see it because it's covered in palm fronds. On top of the rocks that I hauled and stacked, that's already there. So if I could build this thing for nothing but, you know, elbow grease, my physical labor, then hey, great. More money in my pockets to do other good things with. And I'll be showing you some of those things in other videos. We got cool stuff coming up. But there are advantages to using this method. For instance, you get a great thermal mass. That dirt holds up really well in terms of keeping cool in the summer, which here is very nice. And in the winter, it takes a long time to cool down. So if you keep it warm inside the house, it's fine. It doesn't really have good insulating properties, but I'm hoping that these palm fronds will, and that there will be some air trapped in there between the two layers, or at least between the palm leaves, that will provide some insulation. What else? It's supposedly really durable. You get like a 4 to 6 inch layer of mud with lime acting as a stabilizer, and it's really durable. And that's it. I mean, I guess I could, you know, spout things about being environmentally friendly, but that wasn't really a factor in the design decision here. So, you know, this is going to be probably about an extra 25 square meters that I'm adding to the house, which will be nice for storage and a workroom for me, and, you know, tool shed and so on and so forth. That's it. If you guys have any questions or suggestions, feel free to drop me a line. This is Baruch with Emet Permaculture / Emet Nursery, and that's it. Bye.